Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Sindre. Sindre is from Norway, but he lives in London. So let's see what Sindre has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello there.
Hi Sindre, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you, William?
Very well, thanks so much. It's a great day today. It hasn't been too hot or too warm, like too cold. So it's been kind of mild in London. It's good when it's like that. I like it.
It's perfect. Yeah, that's the perfect temperature.
By the way, am I saying right your name, Sindre?
Sindre. Yeah, that's right.
Sindre. Okay, Sindre. Sindre, tell me where you're from.
Well, I'm originally from Norway.
Okay.
So that's actually where I am now. I'm on a 2-week holiday in Norway.
Wow. And where's about in Norway? In Oslo?
It's not in Oslo, but if you know where Oslo is and where Bergen is, it's like right in the middle of those two cities. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's like a kind of a mountain village.
I see. And what's the best part of living there, in your opinion?
I think the best part is probably the nature and the landscape, and you've got this kind of vast mountain range to hike on, and it's all the kind of nature opportunities you have, not necessarily the people. That's why I live in London, because of the people, but you don't get, it's a completely different world to London. So yeah.
And that's the place where you're born and raised?
That's right. Yeah.
And why London?
Well, there's actually one very simple explanation to that, and that's I've lived there for 10 years now. So when I wanted to figure out what to study, I was torn between music and acting. I didn't know which one to pick. And there was one course in the whole world that did something called acting musicianship, which was 50% acting, 50% music. That was in London in Sidcup. And I applied, took the audition, and I got in. And so it was kind of an easy choice back then. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So tell me a little bit about, I know you're a filmmaker, yeah?
Yeah, that's one of, I've got two personalities. So that's one of them, yes.
So tell me a little bit about both.
Yeah, so, I started out as an actor. And then I went through my quarter-life crisis, where you kind of change and you figure out who you really are. So my acting transformed into filmmaking, because I had my own stories that I wanted to tell. And so that's why I kind of changed into filmmaking. So writing and directing, writing my own stories.
Wow.
So I'm doing that, as well as like chasing an entrepreneurial career. Okay. So that's kind of the other side of me.
I see. Wow. And what do you like the most about your careers?
It's kind of probably what gets me up in the morning, which is I love having a goal. I love working towards a goal. That's what fills my life with meaning. When if I had to work for others all the time and I didn't have this goal to pursue, it wouldn't be, I think life would be a bit boring for me, at least. So what makes me, I'm quite a driven person, and that's because it's up to me. How successful I am is actually up to me and what I do, and that's what drives me, right? So I have this the one thing that actually drives me the most is this thought, which if I see myself as an 80-year-old man and I think back on my life, I would much rather have pursued my goals and failed and just be happy that I actually tried my best, than not having tried at all and regretted that I never tried to live and just lived a simple life instead. So I have those two choices. So whether I make it or I fail, it doesn't matter. It will be much better than never trying at all.
I strongly believe that when you are trying, you're already achieving your dreams, because just trying is already part of it. If you don't get to the, let's say, to the thing that you are imagining, like the top of your dream, but actually, if you analyze well, it's already your dream. You know what I mean? You are literally work for it. You're literally going after it. You already put your tears, your thoughts, your life, everything is going together, so it's already happening. You know what I mean? And sometimes life, it's just, I strongly believe as well, just the fact that you are already trying, life has already got the message, and life can direct you. Maybe as you're a good example of it, you want to be an actor, and suddenly you can find another ways as well of enjoying life and still being happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about the journey as well.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a cliche, but it is about the journey rather than the destination.
Absolutely. We need to enjoy every second, every bit of the journey, because that's what makes it interesting. That's when you reach your goal, you go like, my goodness, that was hard. That was, amazing. That wasn't easy, but I'm here. So that's what counts. That's
what's next, right?
Yeah.
You'll be up on that.
We always should think like, okay, what's next now? What's coming now? What's life is preparing for me now? That's what I believe as well.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay, Sindre. So before doing the game, I'm going to explore a bit more about your career, about your life, and your point of views. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories life and to share your point of views?
I'm ready. Yes.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Okay, full of random fun questions. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to play a song just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Ready?
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do it. Okay, Sindre, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
First question for you is, what is the most difficult thing have you ever done?
Well, maybe one of the most difficult things I do is when I not necessarily fire people, but when I tell them we can't have you on anymore, like turning people down. That's really difficult. I think it doesn't happen very often, but I really don't like letting other people down, even though it's necessary for my own growth. Right? It's those hard decisions that make you grow, but it's hard to do. So
and
I think that.
I'm sure. And when you need to take this decision that you need to do that, there is a preparation for you, like emotionally, or something that you prepare yourself to get to this point, or you just need to just focus and do it. How do your preparation for that? Yeah,
I think from now on, my preparation will be a bit different, because the last time I did it, I learned something, I realized something, and I realized that it's for me personally, it's much better to go through those hard moments, hard decisions, and actually chase my goals, my dreams, than trying to avoid all those kind of confrontations and try to live an easier life instead. So by being aware of that and know that I will grow from it, really helps for me to kind of realize it's not dangerous, right? And also another thing to realize is just that no one actually cares about your tricky situations, and you're scared because maybe you will embarrass yourself or something often, but no one actually cares about you being embarrassed. It's only in your own mind. So just realizing that in the grand scheme of things, nothing really matters. Having that mindset helps me to just calm down and like whatever the outcome is, it will be fine.
Easy. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Next question for you is, what are 3 fun facts about yourself?
3 fun facts. Okay, so I can, if I want to, play 6 or 8 different instruments.
Wow.
But I'm only chasing 3 now. I've cut down on them because you don't want to spread yourself too thin. And I've seen an alien when I was very young.
Wow.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. And tricky. I am half Polish and half Norwegian, but I don't speak any Polish.
Oh, is your mom or your dad's Polish?
My mom is Polish, and it's kind of a bit embarrassing that I can't speak any Polish, especially when I'm talking to my Polish family.
It can happen. It can happen, those things. But you've been raised in Norway, I believe. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see. Right. As you mentioned about one of your fun facts that you saw an alien. Yeah. Tell me how it happened. The situation.
I'll tell you. Yeah. So maybe I was around 8, 9 years old or something. So this is what I remember. I was in the kitchen and out in this house that I'm in now, my parents' house. And we had a dog at the time, and I was like watching the dog running outside in like the garden. And it's a farm here where my parents live. So there's a barn and there's a little kind of thing that goes up to the barn. So there's like, you can be under that bridge that leads up to the barn. And there was a wheelbarrow there, and it was a bit dark outside. So I couldn't see exactly what was going on, but could still see quite a bit. And my dog was kind of sniffing around the wheelbarrow, which acted as a little kind of wall in a way. So he was on this side, and on the other side of the wheelbarrow, while he was like sniffing around, all of a sudden, like this quite big round white head just popped up really quickly, and they stared at each other. And my dog was like kind of stood still looking at this big round white head. And then it just popped down again. And then my dog acted as if nothing had happened and kind of sniffed around a bit, and then he wanted to go back inside. That's what happened. And I was like, what was that thing? I've never seen like big flat white heads. That's what I remember.
I'm gonna share something with you as well now. Back in Brazil, I was born in Brazil, and I left Brazil when I was 19 years old. I was around the same age as you, actually the same age. I was in my grandmother's house. I never forget. I'm talking to you now, I can see the scene happening. I remember we went outside the house, was like was the evening, and was kind of very clear sky. I could see the stars and everything. And from nowhere, I could see this light coming, like very close. I can see it. Now I'm talking, I can see the image. Like, it was like a star. It was something like, it looks like a starship or something. Just came very close, but everything stopped. Everything stopped. I remember that I felt like the time stopped for minutes, and I saw the thing just literally looking at me for a minute, like for literally a minute. I couldn't see, again, light. A lot of light was on it, and I'm getting goosebumps now telling about the situation. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing this light, like literally, I could see there was an image looking at me for a minute, like for a minute only. And that thing just blew away straight away. Like after a few seconds, just went away. And I can remember vividly, like beautiful, like literally, like the whole thing was very quick, but was so powerful. And I could understand afterwards. The thing just went away, and I was literally walking around. I was a bit lost because I had a moment that I thought the world just stopped for a minute. And I don't remember if I made a comment with my grandmother, I don't remember if I had a comment, because it was so quick and so powerful at the same time. And I could, this thing, or I could call it alien as well, just want to leave a message. Because this thing looked at me for a minute, for a few seconds. I could see there was something behind that look, you know what I mean? Look at me, and suddenly just went away again. And I got back to my like real world, or I literally like, I don't know, I was looking around, was literally everything kind of start working again. And I totally understand what you mean, because I had this moment. And when I started growing up, I was wondering if I was dreaming or not. And I wasn't, because it was so real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You start to question yourself whether what you saw was actually real or not.
Yes, I started because I think because it was something that I was expecting, and I didn't feel scared. I wasn't scared. I didn't feel like screen or anything, because it was something like very powerful at the same time, peaceful at the same time. As I said, do want to connect with me somehow, want to say something, but it was very quick. And I look at it, and the thing just literally for a minute, look at this thing, look at me as well for a minute. We had this eye contact for a minute, and the thing kind of closed, or just the light went a little bit like all together, and it just went away. And I looked around, because I thought everyone was seeing as well, because I think my grandmother was around, was like early evening, like the beginning of the evening, more or less, before midnight, around 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because it was quite early. And I remember looking around, and I didn't see anyone there, because I wanted to, I was about to talk to that. Oh, did you see that? What's happening now? And nobody was there. And I was alone. I was like, oh my God, so no one was here. You know what I mean? Because for me, everyone was seeing what I could see for a minute. Yeah. But when I realized that no one was around, I literally, I went to my grandmother's house inside, and I don't remember anything more. I don't remember if we talked about it, I don't remember. But it was just these moments that I remember. It was very powerful.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, next question, let's do it. But before the next question, of course, I was checking a little bit your profile, and there was your website there that, there's so many tools to help people, for them to improve themselves about, I made a note here about to be more productive, people to set their minds, to have a mindset of being more productive. So tell me a little bit about the idea of these projects that you have of helping people to be more aware what's their goals, what they're going for.
Yeah, so it's kind of what I write about on my website is kind of these mindsets you need to have to kind of reach goals and to be productive, and mental models. So I think it kind of comes from there are all those things in school that you don't learn, that you need to be to have a successful life, especially if you have like ambitious goals that you want to reach. So you have to learn all of that after school. So it's a way to kind of educate people on that a little bit. So it started as just like a blog in a way, and doing that is a really good way of just getting better at it yourself as well. So it's just a way for me to kind of publish these thoughts that I have as a way to kind of start making it accessible to the world, basically.
Amazing. Very good. Next question is, do you have any pet peeves?
Like things I really dislike or hate, right?
Yeah, like something that annoys you. It makes you annoyed.
I do have one, and that's when people ask me, how are you? Because it's such a meaningless question. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I've got this thing about that question. It's fine for people I don't really know, but it's like if my friends ask me that question, or people I really, really know, I know really well, I mean, it's like, you don't really want to know, do you? Because then you would have asked it in a different way. It's just kind of like, hey, how are you? And I feel kind of, I want to answer properly, right? So sometimes you're gonna have it now. So I'm feeling like this, and this is going well. So I answer properly, and sometimes I just ignore it as well.
Imagine now people watching the interview, they know you, they're gonna come to you, hi Sindre. Just like that.
Yeah, exactly. So on my I've got some dating apps on my phone now, and on some of the profiles I've written that I really love the question, how are you? Sarcastically, obviously. So, yeah.
Now look the other way around. People, they want to know you now, they're going to start saying, hi Sindre, how are you?
Yeah. If they answer, or if they ask and really want to know, that's fine, of course.
Amazing. Next one. Okay, Sindre from Norway. Next question for you is, what is the best gift have you ever received and from whom?
I think it's probably when, when you're, especially for me, when I'm young, when you're like looking forward to Christmas, when you're young, up to around like 11 or 12, maybe 10 years old, that's when it's really meaningful and you love all the gifts, right? So maybe the best gift that I can remember is something I really wanted. It might have been the Nintendo 64 that I got when I was like around that age, because it's just something that you really want at that time, and it kind of you're more emotionally attached to the whole Christmas period and receiving gifts. It's probably that, I think.
Saying that, how was growing up in Norway, with this beautiful country, you know what I mean, with the like cold at the same time as well, with the northern lights, how is growing up in such a beautiful country in your opinion?
Yeah, well, first of all, I've never seen the Northern Lights, because you have to go all the way up north and in a specific period of the year as well, I think. So I haven't actually done that journey yet. But what really sticks with me is like the nature of this environment. That's kind of the main benefit. When you grow up as a child, you just you learn all the kind of wilderness skills, right? That maybe you don't learn that well if you grow up in a city. So I think growing up in a city, you learn all these mental stuff really well. When I say mental stuff, I mean like I just can't find the word. Maths, and you get better at all of those skills. But here you learn more practical skills, like what happens in farms, how does food grow, and like forests, like chopping down trees and all of those kind of skills. So it's good to have that kind of aspect as in me now, as I'm a bit older, I think.
Do you have siblings as well?
I have a sister. Yeah.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Right, before the next question, when was the moment that you thought, okay, I was born to be an actor? When you realized that you have the acting skills, is your passion, is on you, how did you find out that, or it happened naturally?
So I was, I've always had like these comedy skills. I was the clown in my class, and I was the funny one. So that was known quite early, and then naturally when you're the funny one, you're put on stage, I think. So the first time I really kind of understood that it was an actor I was going to be was in like secondary school, when we had at the end of the year we have like a performance, right? So I did a sketch. I did like Rowan Atkinson, who plays Mr. Bean, he did like a silent miming sketch. So I did that one. And after that performance, there was so much applause and everyone came up to me and said, that was amazing. We definitely know what you're going to be. You're going to be an actor. And everyone told me that. And of course I believed it. When when you're young and malleable, you believe what people tell you. And I felt really good with all of those comments and that I got afterwards. So I think that was when I understood that, I've found my calling.
And then your family, did they support you when you realized that?
Yeah, to be honest, everyone supported me because, people were entertained, right? And people love being entertained. So they wanted more of it. So they were like, yeah, you have to do it again. And, but yeah, I was supported in that journey. So yeah.
Well, perfect. Right, next question is tough question now. If you had only 24 hours of life, what would you do?
Wow. 24 hours left. I think maybe I would have just told everyone that I really, really care about, and got them together and like just talk about all the meaningful things that that our life has been about, kind of all the, what do you call the word when you kind of look back on, when you look at pictures and you talk about this kind of period and oh, that was fun.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, maybe that, but it's hard, which kind of, I can't have my London friends and then my family together. We would talk about different things, right? We couldn't all be in a room and like talk about the same thing. I think that would be weird. So I would have to choose, okay, family time or like friends from London time. I don't know. It is a tough question. Yeah, but something like that maybe.
You'd spread your love to everyone that you know.
Yeah, exactly. And just think about, okay, what have I achieved? What have my life has been about? What has my life been about? And like, just try to be happy about what I've achieved, I think.
Amazing.
Like, this is it. Yeah.
Saying that, are you afraid of dying, or it's something that doesn't bother you?
Oh, I used to be really afraid of dying when I was like early teenage years, I think, or like maybe around 10 or 11. I used to have these moments where like they lasted for like 2 seconds, where I got just this rush through me, like, oh, I'm going to be dead someday. And like, yeah. I just felt how it was to have no life. I felt that kind of emptiness when you're dead. There's nothing. And I had some moments where I felt that really strongly when I was younger. But I haven't had that for a long time now. So yeah, maybe I guess I don't fear it that much anymore. It kind of helps me to like, I'm going to be dead someday, so let's make the most out of life. That's kind of, it helps me in that way.
Very interesting saying that, because I actually, as you said, a teenager as well, I had always this no worry, but sometimes when I felt a bit anxious. I felt a bit like, oh my God, imagine if I go and I leave things here not done, or I leave my parents, or things that, I'd like to achieve. But nowadays, I think the older we get, we kind of relax a bit about that. So we realize that, more, I think we see life in a meaningful way, in a different way. You know what I mean? We kind of more relax about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Next question for you is, what is the biggest risk have you ever taken?
Biggest risk? I think it has to be related to either what I've started, like a business idea, for example, that I've started, or what I've walked away from, what I have. So recently, I actually walked away from a business I've spent 4 to 5 years building. Mm-hmm. And you never know, like, is this a really stupid choice, or is it not? There wasn't that much money involved, so it's not a big financial risk, but it might be what I'm doing now, where I'm kind of going all in something that I don't have much experience in, but I'm just kind of learning as I'm doing it, and it's like this community that I'm building now, and like running mastermind calls, and it's something I haven't done in my past, and I've been afraid of like doing it, because I've thought, since I've no experience with it, it's not going to be successful. But I think it's kind of just jumping into that, leaving something I've spent years building in order to do something I have no experience with. So yeah, it's happening now, I think.
Yeah. But at the same time as well, it's something exciting and you feel excited about. It's kind of feel scared, but at the same time, it's a mix of feelings together.
Exactly. And it's, yeah, I'd much rather have an exciting, scary life than bland, boring, nothing is happening life. Being bored is death. Being scared just fills you with adrenaline. Something is happening. Nothing is worse than boredom, I think.
As they say, it's better of like, oops, than what if.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, the what if question or regret is just...
Yeah, absolutely. Next one, let's do it. Before the next one, as I was checking a bit your profile, and you talk up on your website, there was a little article about stop procrastinating. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you think people, including myself, we had this tendency of procrastinating sometimes? What is your idea about it?
So at least in my opinion, the best way to not procrastinate is to realize why you're doing the work that you're supposed to do in the first place. So if you procrastinate, it can be that you don't have, it's not important enough for you, or you don't have a good idea of why you're doing it. But thinking about the why of why you want to be productive in the work that you're supposed to do really helps, because then you realize what will happen if you don't do it. If I procrastinate time and time again, and I won't do the thing that I'm supposed to do, it will have consequences, right? So you need to have a strong idea of what those consequences will be, right? So I think that's the main thing when it comes to stopping procrastinating.
Amazing. Good one. Next question is, when have you been the most happy?
I think I am... So I really like being on my own, but I love being with people as well. I need both. But I think when I'm most happy, when I feel best, is when something to do with my goals, when it's going well, when I feel that it's I'm doing the right thing and it's going well, like going upwards in terms of reaching my goal. Instead of when I feel that it's not going well, then I don't feel that good. So that's what often controls my emotions, I think, whether what I want to do in life, if it's going well or if it's not.
Yep, carry on.
Yeah, I just want to say, I also just spending time or having like a meaningful conversation with a really good friend also feels amazing.
You said about you like being alone sometimes. What's your star sign?
Aquarius.
Okay. No, I thought you maybe could be Scorpio, because I'm Scorpio. Scorpio, they have their own space. They love being alone and have their own, you know what I mean? We spend a lot of time like alone, and we are okay about it. So we like that. So I think maybe it could be Scorpio.
Maybe I would work really well in a relationship with the Scorpion, for example, since they also enjoy their own time.
Yeah, we have this tendency, and I think it's necessary. It's good to be alone for you to get yourself, you know what I mean, to get to know yourself, and it's necessary. It's nice to be around people. I love being around people as well, but I need my time. I need to have some time for myself. I think it's very important.
Yeah, exactly.
3 questions left for you. Let's do it. Okay, Sindre from Norway. Next question is, when was the last time that you cried and why?
I haven't cried in a long time. I remember when I think when I cried the most was when I was like several years ago, when I was really in love with someone and it wasn't mutual. and it just felt really bad. I remember I cried a lot before bed and like all of that. So yeah, I remember that really well. I guess I just don't cry a lot. I love crying.
Okay, it's good, absolutely.
I remember I watched a film that really, I think it must have been A Beautiful Mind, or maybe it was a film after that. It was another film, but it was because of a film that just,
You got
wow.
emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice one. 2 questions left. Let's do it. But before the last question, by the way, I was looking your stories yesterday. You baking a cake, a chocolate cake with your friends or someone. How was it? Did it taste good?
It was much better than I thought. Yeah, it was really good. She used a good recipe. It was for a name party for one of my best friend's daughter, and I'm the, what is it called when it's
Godfather,
but not Christian, like not religious, non-religious version of that, basically. Yeah.
I don't know the name. There's a name for that.
Yeah, there must be, but yeah, I'm that person. So we had that party. That was cool.
Sweet. Right, before the next question, of course, there was this sad event in Norway, in Oslo, a few years ago regarding the guy who was, shooting in the islands. Yeah. There's a movie about something to July 2012, something like that. There's a movie about. I watched the movie, and it was really, really interesting. Let's say this way about the situation that happened that time. My question to you is, if it's okay to talk about, where were you at the time? Do you remember when it happened? And did you know anyone who was involved in that sad moment, like or lost somebody? Did you know anyone? Or if you can tell me a little bit about that day.
Yeah, I remember that quite well, actually. I was in Norway. That was the year before I went to England for the first time to study. So I just remember we talked a lot about it when I went to school or the college, like before it started, because it was in the summer. So when we started the new year, we talked a lot about it, and there was a lot of kind of support for people who might have known someone. So it was a really big thing. And what we were all thinking was that it's just so surreal. Like nothing bad happens in Norway, not on that kind of level, at least. So it was just really weird it's kind of when you're thinking that nothing will ever happen to us or to me, because it never has, right? But then when it happens, it's just really weird. So I remember that really well. I don't know anyone. I think there's one person I think who knew someone who was either really badly hurt or actually died in that event, but only one person. Yeah.
You're saying that I had the same feeling as well when I heard the news. When I find out, I was like, oh my god, in Norway? Why Norway? You know what I mean? I had this thought as well. I was like, my goodness, why Norway? What's the connection? What's something that's when you think about Norway, you don't think about those tragic events. You know what I mean? So yeah, I remember like clearly as well the day. Okay, next question for you is, what scares you the most about your future?
So maybe not my future personally, but what scares me about the future is that we're about to ruin our planet. I really care about that. So I'm really scared of people and animals and all life on this planet just not existing. That's something that I think a lot about. But if it's personal to me, I'm not really afraid of it, because I believe is not going to happen, but I feel sometimes that it might happen, and that is, what if I don't reach my goals? what if I will always kind of pursue them and not really kind of, I know we talked about it's not about the destination, but there's levels of, okay, yeah, I've reached this milestone and this milestone, but yeah, maybe I will be disappointed about what I've achieved myself. I think that might be one of my biggest fears, at least, but it's not really a fear yet.
I'll tell you something now. The good news is you are not alone in that boat, because all of us, we go through that moment in life or period of life. I think all of us, we have those maybe insecurities, or maybe not. The not knowing can be scary, but at the same time as well, not knowing can be very powerful. Not knowing, it's a beautiful place to be. It's a powerful place to be, not knowing.
Yeah, because then everything is possible, right?
Absolutely, because in a blink of eyes, you just can go like, wow, oh my God. So yeah, so it's a bit tricky, but yeah, you never know. You can wake up one day, go like, wow, what's that? You know, I was expecting that to happen, and that's what makes life interesting and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Ready for the last one?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. But before the last question, people watch the interview right now. Would you like to start a career as a filmmaker, or no, to enjoy the journey? What would be your best piece of advice?
Into like the journey of being a filmmaker?
Yeah.
I think it has to do with people, your network. You need two flints to make a fire. You can't go on this journey alone. That's probably something I realized a bit kind of too late. Like I thought it was all up to me in the beginning, but like the best advice I've got has come from other people. So every new person that you know opens up a new door for you. It's a new opportunity. So you must know a lot of people by now, I think. So you're doing something right. People who like connect with other people on a regular basis, they are doing the right thing, and you never know who you're going to meet. So it's just like one person can open up a whole new world, and you never know who that one person is gonna be, right? So actively seek out new relevant people and find a way to establish a relationship with them rather than just having them in your network, because connections are like worthless, but relationships are invaluable.
Remember growing up, I learned a lesson growing up as a teenager, say that when you dream, it's powerful and it's beautiful. But when you dream together, it's magical. It's impossible not to happen. So it says what you just said. You know what I mean? You're never gonna get anywhere alone. You need angels. I'll call angels around you, because all those angels is gonna take you to the place where you're meant to be. So could be connection, could be relationships, as you said, could be anything. But all those angels together, it's gonna get you there. You're never gonna get anywhere alone. That's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Last question for you is, what was the last thing that made you smile?
It was you.
Oh!
Yeah, having this conversation.
Oh, thank you very much. My good, it just made my day now.
Yeah, no.
Oh. Thank you. Very tricky. You're very fast. You answer very fast.
Sorry? Yeah, well, because I didn't need to think about that question.
Oh, very sweet. Sindre, it's not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Yeah.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like. Don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
My mom.
Money?
I just saw a bunch of coins.
Okay. Love?
My ex.
Oh, oh. One word for life.
I saw like a pig on a farm, like life of a farmer.
Amazing, beautiful. One word for sex.
I saw myself in a little happening I had not long ago.
Good. Politics.
Saw the previous Prime Minister of Norway just having a
Religion.
speech.
Religion.
This name party we had that was not religious at all.
Okay. One word for fear.
Someone trying to put out a flame with a towel.
Friendship.
Me in Margate with a bunch of some good friends.
Desire.
Just me swimming in Margate.
Wow. Regrets.
It was just me writing some thoughts on a piece of paper in my kitchen in this house in Norway.
Success.
I'm like walking in a corridor. Like I guess that's my, I don't know, future office or something.
Amazing. One word for wish.
I'm sitting in my room and meditating and trying to think about my future, what it's going to be.
One word for happiness.
It's me again, just walking in nature.
See. One word for London.
Just lots of noise and people just like an ant's nest, almost just people walking about in a city that's too big.
One word for Norway.
Just a map with loads of pins. Map of Norway.
And the last one now, filmmaker, one word.
James Cameron.
Interesting. It's coming out now, the new Avatar under the water.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's what you meant, yeah, James Cameron. That's what you meant, yeah, the director, yeah. Yeah, can't
exactly.
wait to watch it. Can't wait. I saw the trailer the other day on the cinema, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be another piece of art or piece of, I don't know, something beautiful.
He's spent another 10 years, another decade or something making this probably.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friends, tell me the most beautiful thing about Sindre, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say?
I think my best friend would say that I'm a good listener, and that they feel heard when they're around me. But I could work on my dating skills a little bit.
How? If you can share, what? You not organize yourself on good dates, or put yourself in a dating world?
It's in the dating, it's the skill in a way that for some people comes natural. How you behave for guys, at least straight guys, how you behave around women. That to create an atmosphere where both of you understand that you want something more than just friendships. I'm really good at staying at the friendship level, but that's not what you want when it comes to dating. But there are things you can do to like get out of the friend zone, which apparently doesn't come natural to me, which I'm Should learn.
I think it's because you are very friendly, so you just keep in this friendly way, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, exactly.
Anyway, the right person would come in the right time, for sure. Let's play now, Sindre, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. You can ask me a question now.
Imagine that everywhere you go, you will see a number on top of people's heads. It's like almost like you're in a game, and you can see this floating number on top of people's heads everywhere you go. What do you want that number to represent? It could be like their age, or how many years left they have to die, or like before they're dead, or anything.
My God, what a creative question. I love the question. My goodness. Next month, I'm going to reach 700 guests on the show so far, and no one asked me this question yet. I love the question. My goodness. And you put me in the spot now. Okay, I love it. All right. Okay, the first thing that came to my mind is I would like the numbers on their heads to mean how genuinely they feel to me. Like if it's 10, how, you know what I mean? The connection between me and them. That's maybe they don't know the numbers, but I'm the only one who can see that connection. So I'd love to see those numbers in their heads, like 1 to 100, you know, between 1 and 100, to see how connected they are with me without knowing. I'm the only one who could see those numbers. Oh my God, I love the question.
You mean how well can it, like, kind of a bit like LinkedIn in a way, like how you are in terms of people you know? Yeah, to see how connected we are, how, without them knowing, how the genuine feeling that they have regarding our friendship or our connection or our, like, the, you know what I mean, the meaning. When I see the numbers, I can see how powerful. So I can connect to see if my number, so I can kind of, because of course, I know, I feel the connection with some people around my life, friends, good friends, family, and I would like to see if they would feel the same for me, if the connection would be the same. So I'd like to see those numbers in their heads, just to see the connection that we have. I think that's similar to what I would have done. I would have done like, okay, how, if I go up to this person now, how much chemistry are we gonna have if I just approach this person? Like, great for dating, you know? If I just, how much chemistry are we gonna have on a scale from 0 to 100?
I love it. I love the question, Sindre. Wow, you're just giving ideas now for people who's gonna be the interview to us. They're gonna be asking the kind of the same similar question. I love it.
Put it in your magic box.
You see, you left your signature in the magic box. You see?
Very nice.
Sindre, did you have a good time?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, it's a great vibe here.
Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being kind and sweet and open as well about, you know, your thoughts, about your point of views. I think nowadays it's so powerful when we talk about things like about our experience in life, because we never know who's going to be watching this interview and how much they're going to connect with you, how much they're going to appreciate to know that there is someone in Norway, maybe in other part of the world, like maybe going through the same situation, maybe went through the same situation in the past, or maybe sharing the same point of views. And that's what the show is about. It's about us express ourselves, being ourselves, and let people connect with us as well, and see that we are not alone out there. There's always someone sharing something similar that we are living, or we lived in the past, or we're going to live in the future. So I think that's the beauty of the show. Thanks so much for taking the time. But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Yes. Do you want like one of mine or a Steve Jobs quote that I live by?
As you said, that one of yours and one of the other one.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, something I've realized in terms of like productivity, it's, if you have little time, just realize this. It's not about how much time you have, but it's about how you use the time that you do have. Just that perspective. It's about that. Beautiful. And like something that Steve Jobs said that just is like the best quote I've ever heard is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it, you can influence it. And once you learn that, you will never be the same again.
Wow, powerful. My goodness, I love that. Sindre, before you go, actually, just tell me something now. What is your favorite Norwegian word?
Probably myrkrukikrulla.
Which means?
It's something, it's in a very weird dialect in Norway, but I just love how it kind of sounds. Myrkrukikrulla. It's something to do with a swamp, like the swamp, but in a very weird dialect in Norwegian.
Wow, I love that. I cannot even pronunciate it, but it sounds very like powerful what to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks so much for the interview, and keep in touch. And I see you in London one day. My goodness, we live in the same city. Let's organize a coffee or something, okay? It was a pleasure.
I'd love to. Yes.
Take care. Have a
Thank you
lovely
so much
time.
for inviting me.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.